In Russia, the city of Ekaterinburg is synonymous with rock music. And there is one man in particular who is a legend in these parts.
I am Alexandre Pantykin, host city ambassador for the World Cup in 2018 and the grandfather of Ural Rock. In this concert hall, some of the most famous rock festivals were held in our city. And it's also where me and my rock band, Earth and Juice, started playing. But that was 30 years ago, when the rock movement in our city had just begun.
In the late 1960s, the Ural rock and roll scene emerged in Ekaterinburg. Influenced by British bands like the Beatles, Alexander was at the forefront of the movement. From composing musicals to writing scores for film, he's a pioneer for music not just in this city, but across Russia. Alexander finds inspiration in an unusual location, a former Soviet bunker.
As the third cultural capital of our country after Moscow and St. Petersburg, Ekaterinburg enjoys a special place in the world of music. The people of this city recognize me as the founding father of the rock music scene. That's why they call me the grandfather of Ural Rock. In the past, several generations of rock bands emerged that were already playing music which was popular in America, England, and Europe. But they had no musical instruments. So they started making guitars and building speakers in order to get closer to what they had heard in the records. This worked out quite well, so that by the end of the 70s, many rock bands established here in this city became popular right across the entire country.
We are ready.
Currently flying the flag for Ekaterinburg and Ural Rock is the band Neva. Prodigies of Alexander's, they have a growing fan base across Russia and Europe.
We used to play acoustic music in small bars to small crowds. But now, the four of us have come together and stepped up a gear. We've started to treat music differently, with drive, energy, and a more polished sound. Alexander has guided us, ensuring we stay true to the traditions of Ural Rock, which is important. We often interact with each other with regard to music, and he's very supportive of us, which is a big help.
The most important thing is that the tradition of rock and roll in Ekaterinburg has never ended. We have groups that were born in the 70s and 80s, and new young groups emerge every year. One of them is Neva, who haven't just impacted on our city, but are beginning to leave their mark on the entire country.
Whilst Neva continue the legacy of Ural Rock in Russia, it is the 2018 FIFA World Cup that can allow the world to experience it for themselves.
Besides football, the creative side of the city is very important, and I've always been interested in the relationship between sports and the arts. So what have I done? I've put together a team made up of musicians, artists, poets, actors, and together we will rehearse in preparation for shows during the World Cup. Whether it's Moscow, St. Petersburg, Ekaterinburg, Kazan, or any of the other host cities, we'll all be creating such an environment that any visitor who comes to our country during the tournament will feel at home here.